thinking back, there are so many situations that wouldn't have been handled the same way, wouldn't have been as prolonged as they were, or wouldn't even have existed to the extent that they did if I had the relationship that I have now with masculinity. As cool as it is to say, almost every issue that I once faced has diminished in the growth of my masculinity and my understanding of it. To the point now where when I place myself within these moments and memories, they're easy. How would I have talked to this person? Easy. How would I have handled this? Like that. Would I still be? No, I wouldn't be doing that. Or how many different things, or what job would I have stayed at this long? All these different things are solved. They're solved. And I was journaling about this, so I'm going to share a bit of my journal entry with you. But what does it mean to be a man? Because for some, you don't even know what it means to be a man. You hear about this masculine, this and that. You don't even know what it means to be masculine. And they both kind of correlate. Now, what does it mean to be a man? A man is protective, providing, stoic, and still. Now, you hear the word stoicism, but most people don't even know what it means. The best way I think you should take stoicism as is being still. Stoicism is usually someone unmoving, right? Both emotionally, but also physically, meaning that once you have something in mind that you're aiming for, or you have some type of truth, you're committed to it, you're stuck to it. You're still, you're unmoving. You're not gonna waver. All right? You're not indecisive, this, and this. No, you kind of know what you want. Stoicism. Still. Disciplined, right? To be a man, you're gonna have to be disciplined, because in general, right, like I said, life's not gonna be just going your way or handed to you half the time. You're gonna have to be able to go against how you feel, and sometimes what you even want, to get what you need and to make certain changes. I was talking about this, I think in my blog for a brief moment, but one reason why I think men tend to go towards paths where they make more money, right? They say there's a divide in how much men make, how much women make in industries, is because they're disciplined, and that they're gonna choose jobs that nobody wants to do, even if it's not their passion, even if they're not passionate about it. Why? Because it's that discipline, it's that ability to do things you don't feel like doing when you don't feel like doing them, and still getting it done and bunkering down into it to get to that end goal, that thing you want, right? They're calm. If you ever met a guy who's just a freaking what's the best way to put this? What's not airhead, a hothead. There we go. If you ever met a guy who's a hothead, he's in a sense being quite feminine, because you're not supposed to be able to just explode at the drop of a dime. That should not be you. You should be calm, right? Stoic, still, calm. All very similar things. It's actually quite feminine to react, because oftentimes you don't really react that way unless you're emotional. So if you're not emotional, you're logical, you're most likely going to be calm. How can you be logical? How can you be a problem solver? How can you think if you're not calm? If you're not taking a moment, right? You need clarity. Studied and made. Now, if you're like me, right, I say studied and made. So any man who's become great, right, has etched himself in history books, whatever it is, he's been really studied, in that he's taken time to really, really understand the way something works, taking time to really if he's a general, he understands strategy. He understands it inside and out like the back of his hand. He understands, like the back of his hand, how a sword will move, how he should hold it. He understands, how his enemy will think. He's well studied, and he has to be to succeed. And secondly, like I put there, made. What I mean by made is, to be a man, it isn't like just I'm telling you a bunch of words that kind of, coincide with being a man. But at the end of the day, you have to make yourself these things. None of these things are easily attainable. You're not going to be born providing. You're not going to just be born stoic. You're not going to be born disciplined. Your brain wants comfort. It does. So when you're doing what you are and trying to become a man, become, you're being made. You have to make yourself. If you want to succeed more in the world, oftentimes you'll notice all these different figures, celebrities, etc. They're making themselves. Drake wasn't always the same person you see right now. He's made himself that way. This is his masculine character. This is this person he created. All these different people you idolize. The president, right? Think about it. Some baby who was just born and just had the confidence to go in front of a podium and talk to an entire country of people. No, he made himself that way. He found the right mental hacks, the right things, etc., and the right path to eventually make himself this person. In his head, the president. In Drake's head, the greatest rapper who ever lived, etc. They made themselves that way. This is what they did. Hungry, right? You can't succeed if you're not hungry. If you don't actually want it, if you're not starving for it, and you would lay in bed, right? You would lay in bed content, then it most likely won't happen to you unless something's thrown your way. Logical. We already went over that. Aggressive. Now, when I say aggressive, think about it like a switch, because of course you have to be calm. If you can't manage to be calm and you're always aggressive, like I said, it's quite feminine. But you're going to have to be aggressive in that you're going to have to tap into that energy that I believe more than anything men are associated when it comes to being like animalistic, when it comes to being the go-getters in a sense. I don't want to use lions as an example because if you know anything about lions, I think lionesses actually hunt more than lions, and the lions themselves actually just protect the pride. But men tend to have to be aggressive and know how to activate this aggression when the time comes or it's needed. How would you protect if you cannot be aggressive? How would you stand your ground if you cannot be aggressive? Purposeful, right? I don't believe there's a happy man in the world without a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, I don't believe in a sense you can truly be happy. I can. Desire, feminine essence. Now, masculine and feminine are like yin and yang. They coincide. I don't care what anyone tells you, etc. Any man who's a real man is always in some way going to desire feminine energy. What's a big reason why a lot of guys get into working out? They get into working out because they want to impress a girl. Or what's a big thing that guys tend to desire when they start to grow into themselves? They start to desire females. A lot of things you start to do are in correlation to females, whether it's your fashion, whether it's in money making. You want to be able to lead a certain life and do certain things, and you want the feminine energy. You want to see beautiful things. Beauty and art, etc., are usually very associated with femininity and being honest. This actually is something that started my journey. If you look back in some of my old videos, there's something I mentioned when I talk about how I went on this journey to sort of give myself a challenge. And the challenge was that I was going to say one kind thing. I was going to do one kind thing a day and one thing that made me uncomfortable. And alongside that, I couldn't lie. I didn't want to lie ever. I always wanted to be open and honest. It was being open and honest without me even realizing that I was being more masculine, because I started saying anything I wanted. As long as it was true, I was open and I was honest. Keep on, I wasn't stupid, but I was open and honest. I started just saying whatever was on my mind. And one thing I noticed is people around me started to respect me. I started to really sort of change my life. I didn't even realize it, but so many things just change when you act only in truth. When you stop beating around the bush with that girl, bro. If you're interested in her, what's a direct way, right? Or smooth, but a direct way you can still like voice it and not just sit here and settle for being her friend or pretend to be her friend for so long that it's awkward. You tend to avoid that when you're seeking honesty, because you know if you're honest with yourself, it's eating you alive to be your friend. If you're honest with yourself, it's eating you alive to continuously go to this job that you don't like. So maybe you're gonna have to pick something and become valuable enough to where you can do what you like. If you're honest with yourself, generally, you're constantly making life-changing decisions on a daily basis, because you can't stomach lying to yourself or living in a lie and doing something that you don't enjoy or being something that you don't want. Now, it isn't acting within all these things that I've wholeheartedly been changing my life. If you want to figure out a way you can be more masculine, right? If you could do an actionable step, we'll say, to take away, so you're not just watching a video and hearing about all this stuff and just shaking your head. For a month, don't lie. Just for a month, try right now, just think about it in your head and just do it. Just for a month, say right now to yourself, I will not lie. For this entire month, I won't lie. And it has to be with everything, right? So say you don't like a certain job, right? Come on, if you're gonna buckle down, right, you're gonna be disciplined, fine, that's cool. But if you know this job isn't it, but you're settling, and you know you can get something better right now, and you know that's the truth, go ahead. Number 2, workout. It's just that simple, bro. But when you exercise, when you generally are in this process of building upon yourself, it's like I said, men are made. So you're in this process of making yourself. It teaches you just how much impact you can have on yourself, to where the general structure of your body is changing. Your energy levels are changing. Your testosterone is boosting, which already relates to masculinity. And it's gonna generally change, surprisingly, whether you realize it or not, just how you approach life. The fitter you get, the more healthy you get, the more testosterone you get, the more masculine you end up being. Thirdly, start acting within your purpose, right? When I say this, is study what is going on in your life. Create quiet, study what is going on in your life, and try to make sure that no matter what you do now, you live a life more aligned with your purpose. A man who lives a life more aligned with his purpose is a man truly intact with his masculinity, is truly living alongside his masculine essence. And the more you live within your purpose, the more you accomplish it, the closer you get to it, the more masculine you will be. That's the video. If you watched this long, thank you, bro. Leave a like. The next one, maybe you'll see me vlog. Anyway, I've impressed myself. It's time for you to do the same.